Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, he does, yeah. And Adrianski's our 10-year mark. Since 2012.
Oh, wow, since you ski? Mine, I gave it up in, must have been 14.
Or snowboard, I don't ski.
Oh, see, I ski.
Yeah.
Ski.
Make sure you get that right.
But you don't snowboard anymore either?
No,
You do still?
weeks. What do you eat? I'm like, I'm not 70.
Watch it. I'm doing the math, 70 of a cow.
6, you said?
Man, yeah. I'm going in to see a back surgeon on Friday, so. Just, yeah, I can't do anything. I can't walk in a hurry.
You'll have to start it from your phone.
But I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be back.
Just join.
I'm pumped. I'll take a.
So just type in the number.
Until I couldn't get it anymore.
After using this, like, oh, we know the church, so we have one now too.
Nice.
So yeah, the stand was so expensive. I don't need the fancy stand.
That's what I didn't hear that
It
he
was
wasn't
like
here.
$1,500.
Text me.
He ran by me at the skate park.
Oh,
We've got your ring, right?
Yeah.
I didn't hear from him today, which is not uncommon, I don't talk to him every day.
Like, probably can't stop.
You know, that's probably it. It's just how they're run. We'll have to pick them up and forget them.
Usually he texts if he's gonna be late, but I didn't hear from him.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, we're gonna get our meeting started and then we'll give you the cue when you're up.
Take your time.
Okay, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right. Ready to get started? We can at least hear the presentations. Everyone ready?
Yep.
Awesome. And the streaming is going. We'll call this meeting of the Jamestown Local Development Corporation to order. It's February 15th, 2023. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Valentine's Day before. And it's now 5:33 p.m. We have several presentations. Mary's looking.
I have a tax credit that I was going to use that as a.
Yes, we will be bringing it right back over to you.
If it's okay with the JLDC board members, if we try to get through the presentations for the Downtown Programming Fund first, before we do our normal business. Is everyone okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, we do have some folks joining us from different places. So we'll go ahead and we'll get started. Crystal, is there a certain one you want to start with first?
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and start with St. Luke's? That way Michael can go and do his thing and I can get the Zoom board back over to the other side of the room.
Right over there.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, everybody,
Yeah.
for considering this event. We've been in. My name is Micheál O'Sullivan, which is Irish Michael O'Sullivan, and me and my brother Owen O'Sullivan are performers of Irish music and poetry, and we're educators, teachers, and my brother is actually living in outside Buffalo, Western New York, and I am visiting the country for a couple of performances in March. So we've been involved by St. Luke's Episcopal Church in beautiful Jamestown, and we have designed a day-long presentation of concerts and educational engagements, and we're calling it the Welcome the Wisdom of St. Patrick, an experience of Celtic song, story and poetry by Irish brothers Micheál and Owen O'Sullivan. It would take place on Wednesday, March 15th, and our description of the event is, did you know that St. Patrick wasn't Irish? He was captured by Irish slaving pirates as a boy from his home in West Britain and trafficked to Northern Ireland. Perhaps the most famous saint in the world, 1,500 years later, main streets of cities all over the world are shut down for parades held in his honour. What wisdom does St. Patrick have to teach a culture where he was an alien? Why did the Irish welcome this foreigner into their hearts who was preaching a whole new theology that challenged all the cultural norms of the day? And what does Patrick have in store for you? Through song, story and poetry, the brothers O'Sullivan will take you on a journey to reveal what wisdom is being passed on through the Celtic Christian lineage that we have inherited. There will be two parts of this celebration of St. Patrick's Day on Wednesday the 15th of March. There will be an educational component during the day. This could be a visit to a local school or school and a workshop setting where people come and learn more of the meaning behind Irish traditional music, the story of St. Patrick, and a group could learn some songs and then join us on stage that evening for an evening concert performance that will be at St. Luke's Episcopal Church, downtown Jamestown. So what we love to do is come to a beautiful little town like yourselves and visit some local schools and spread the word, also work with some musical groups or community centres, even some old folks' homes, whoever would have us, we're willing to show up, sing a few songs, engage with them on an intellectual and musical level, read some poetry as well. We're great reciters of Irish poetry and compose some poetry ourselves, and then amalgamate that in a concert that evening at St. Luke's. So we're really excited about the invitation. We really appreciate you considering us, and we hope you contribute to us getting there.
Thank you. Are there any questions before we let Michal? Did I say that right?
Yes, Michal. Yeah, Michal.
Before we let you go. No?
No questions here? I welcome it, being Irish.
Definitely something a little bit different. So, very cool.
Yeah, no, it's
Very cool.
really high tech. Bravo, and well done. God bless the work there.
Thank you so much for your
Thanks,
time.
Molly.
Thanks a million. It's nearly 11 p.m., but we only wake up over here around this time.
Oh. Well, we will let
There
you
we
go. Start your day.
Thanks so much, God. Good night from Ireland. Take care of yourself.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to go ahead and you want to move that back over? Awesome, thank you. So we'll put this aside. We'll let our other presenters go ahead and present. We're keeping it to about 5-ish minutes, and then that gives us a little bit of time for questions. That way we can get through that. No problem. We'll jump back up to RTPI. You are next up.
Thanks. Is there a place I should? I'll go stand
Wherever
over
you
there.
feel comfortable.
I feel comfortable everywhere. Hello,
Okay.
everybody. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for having us. Thank you to the board. I'm just going to put this down here. So we live.
Who are you?
Hi. Well, I'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay. But I'll start with that. Hi, I'm David Niles. I'm the Programs and Events Director at the Roger Tory Peterson Institute. Over here is Maria Ferguson, our curator at the Roger Tory Peterson Institute. Thank you again for having us here. We really appreciate your time. So we live in a really special place. We have so much to offer here in Western New York, Jamestown specifically, from all of our cultural institutions, our wonderful restaurants, everything that we have here to do our activities. And we are bringing the Banff Center International Mountain Film Festival to Jamestown, New York. It's a world tour, so it's going everywhere. In the past, it has been done. It was on a random Tuesday night in April. 3 hours, it was really difficult for certain people to get there. And I looked at it and I was like, you know, I think Jamestown deserves better. We deserve a whole weekend. So we're doing a Friday, Saturday event. Our goal is to get people within a 3-hour radius to Jamestown, New York for the whole entire weekend. It's a bunch of short films that center around outdoor activities, skiing, mountain biking, fat tires, skateboarding, you name it, mountain climbing. It's here. And it's everything that we have to offer in Chautauqua County. What makes this place special. And we are using Banff as almost like a love letter to Jamestown in our community, to get people here, to create relationships with them, to get them here to explore, and to come back. We get them here, we show them these films, we treat them with hospitality, that Jamestown hospitality that no one else can match. We get them here, we introduce them to all of our cultural institutions. You know, come in on a Friday, go have dinner somewhere, come to Banff that night at the Reg, another place that we're going to support. Go out, have a drink afterwards. The next day, go be inspired by the films that you just saw, and go for a walk at the Riverwalk. Go skate, go do some climbing, some biking, it's all here. See the film the second night, go out again, and Sunday, go out, have brunch. Explore. Go to church. Go to church. Go to church. Yes, there's this one church that I know. You know, we want to build relationships with everyone in our country, basically. In RTPI, we've been around for a long time. We've been rebranded over the last couple of years. I think most everyone here hopefully has felt that, has seen that. Art that matters to the planet. We are kicking off on Earth Day. That wasn't an accident. We did that on purpose. We have there's a film actually about nature, about the environment as well. So it's a well-rounded scope of films that are meant to inspire, to get your blood pulsating, to get you out into the environment. And we're very excited to host it here. Jamestown's very special to us. We are part of the fabric of this community at RTPI, and the great thing about this is creating relationships with people that come to Banff and discover RTPI, because those that come to the film, they get to come to RTPI for the whole entire weekend. So we did that so we can introduce them to who we are. And as they get to know us and to explore Jamestown, they will come back. They will come back to RTPI. They will come back because we made this a special event. So we're asking for some support to pull this off. And if you have any questions, let me know. That's my little nutshell of a spiel. Did I keep it in 5 minutes? Yeah.
I have one question. Where is the nearest other Banff Film Festival relationship?
So they are doing one in Cleveland. They're having a one-night outside of Rochester. Those are the two closest.
Okay.
The dates are not close to ours. I don't know what programming they're having because we get to choose the programming.
Right.
So I haven't seen the release of what films they're showing, but that's the closest. So we're trying to really hit like a 3-hour radius, because even if they miss that on a, April 2nd, they may come to Jamestown.
Great. Excellent.
Any other questions for David?
Do you have a baby yet?
I might. I was just telling them I'm a little jumpy today because every time I hear my phone go off, it could happen any second. But no, not yet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you
so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Maria,
Next.
did you want to say anything?
No, I'm good. That was
Okay.
good.
Next up, we have Cindy, St. Susan's.
Hi, I'm Cindy Saxton. I'm on the board of St. Susan Center, which is the soup kitchen in Jamestown. Thank you all for letting us come back. We actually had an event a year ago, So You Think You Can Cook, which I think was a great success. And we're actually having a smaller version of it starting next week. But what we're proposing this time is to bring Ben Bailey, the cash cab guy, to Jamestown to host a trivia night at the Crystal Ballroom. And we're fashioning it after So You Think You Can Cook, so we're having a 3-night pre-qualifying events down at St. Susan Center. We like to do that to bring people down there to see our beautiful space. And we get all of our money basically through fundraising and donations. So these events help make people aware of the soup kitchen and hopefully pick up donors and volunteers. At the same time, we're providing just fun for the people who live here, and hopefully to bring outsiders to come see Ben Bailey. We're also, so in the pre-qualifying rounds, we're going to choose actual trivia teams to compete the night of the main event. But to keep the audience involved, we're also going to get gift certificates or whatever to give away to audience participation. Once again, to make people aware of all the restaurants, gift shops, everything, the Comedy Center. We'll give those out as prizes during the event. Wish I were like David and more comfortable up here because I'm not. But does anybody have any questions?
Will there be the same level of smoke as the last
No,
time?
the last time the fire department visited us, and thankfully the mayor was there to tell them to turn off the alarm. Because it might still be ringing.
Okay.
No,
Fire
no
alarms
cooking.
and smoke alarms in the Crystal Ballroom in the Housing Authority building.
That was good. Test those things.
No questions?
I did have one
Okay.
about your gift card. Is it going to be like the gift card from the chamber that you can use throughout, or is it specific to
We were
restaurants?
thinking about getting, we can include the chamber gift cards, but we were also thinking of a gift card from Dots and
Okay.
the Sandros, the pub, just all of the places downtown to get people into the businesses.
The only thing I would again recommend is I've had this discussion before, that those gift cards not be applied towards alcohol.
That's not, sure.
If
Yep.
that's what we
Yep.
decide.
And that's been a standard thing all along, so, yeah,
Okay, thank you.
great.
Appreciate it.
All right. Mickey, welcome. You've got the floor for 10 minutes.
10
'cause you've got
minutes.
2.
Goodness gracious. Well, thank you all for having me. It's nice to see everyone again. First of all, I want to thank you for supporting Woollyburg last year. It was an incredible success to be down for 2 years and to bring it back with the velocity that we were able to. It was fantastic to see Jamestown shine the way it did that week. I guess we did 4 days. So I would like to bring Whirlybird back. Whirlybird is a music and arts festival that focuses on a free community component where we, for 3 days this year, we bring headlining acts, that are nationally touring acts, free to the community, all age performances at Winter Garden Plaza. And that is then on Friday and Saturday, we then, after that concludes, move into various venues around downtown for a very limited ticket price. This year will be our least expensive ticket for our quote-unquote after party, being, I think, less expensive than year one that we did it. So some changes that I'm bringing about this year. Well, first and foremost, we have commitments from Jamestown, natives smack dab are going to be coming back, which was a huge highlight for last year, but we're going to start the weekend off with them on Friday. And then on Saturday, we've got commitments from Jamestown favorites Gymkhana, as well as Colorado-based and internationally touring band Magic Beans. The reason why I selected these bands is very specific. Gymkhana is not only going to bring Jamestown out, but it's going to draw people from Buffalo, from Ithaca, from Erie. They're a very well-known band around this area. And then Magic Beans, being who they are, they're going to, they sell out Buffalo Ironworks every time they come. They have a fantastic reputation. They've really been coming along. So the combination of those two bands together, along with all the support that we bring, both local and regional Buffalo bands, I'm very confident that we're going to be able to bring out more people for our free community events. And then we're going to dial down and bring more regional acts for our after party. So that way, not only is the ticket price going to be a little bit less expensive, which will encourage people to diffuse into our downtown businesses, but it will also have more people out to begin with because these bands are so spectacular and have such fine reputations. This year we are going to continue with having free components during the evening as well. Talking to Four Below to have free acoustic shows. Spoken with the Lab. We're going to be doing acoustic shows on the Stoop to start off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then hoping to meet with Kurt next week, and what we're going to do with Shawbucks, over at Shawbucks, for Johnson, is let them do what they do best, which is have a karaoke night on Friday and a DJ on Saturday, and that will also be a free event. So bringing the cost down on everything and really upping the ante when it comes to the talent that we're bringing to the table. Last year worked wonderfully operationally speaking. We're going to keep, if it ain't broke, we're not going to fix it. So we're really excited to be utilizing Winter Garden Plaza again and to be having our own unique program on Friday night, as opposed to working with the cruise-in. So that's one of the reasons I moved the date to July, to not only give us our own space for that Friday night event and really bring everything out a little bit more. I think we can do just as good job as what the cruise-in does, but within our own field and within our own scene. And then also there's a festival in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, Firelights, that benefits firefighters. And they happen to be the same weekend as what we were doing before. So not only do we want to give them their space, but we know we're going to be able to bring a lot more people that would have gone to that last year and keep them here in Jamestown. Our public art program last year was fantastic. We had live painting every single night, and that was a huge advancement and something I've been really wanting to do, really wanting to see in Whirlybird, and it was a great success. And it's fantastic to see what's going on with public art and visual arts in Jamestown. That's something that our city is kind of been missing for a while. So to see like Artscapes work, to see Chautauqua Art Gallery downtown, to see like all the push that there's been to really bring that out, that talent that we have in our community. There's so many talented artists. It's we really want to do our best to encourage that and bring it up to another level here within the Whirlybird program. So that, I believe I covered everything when it comes to Whirlybird. If anybody has any questions, I may have missed something, I'm not sure, but please. No? All right, wonderful.
Arrow on the list.
Yes. So they are a 7-piece. I tried to get them last year. It's just so hard because they're such a large band. I couldn't really put them anywhere but the outdoor program. And so what I really like for this year is we've got the date held. All things move along correctly. We should have them opening up for Smack Dab. One thing that do pride Whirlybird in being is a cultural event. We do not just stick to one genre of music. We bring it all out and cater to all the people of Jamestown. That really comes down to it. So it's an incredible band. They've been doing wonderful things. They just sold out Ironworks to release their album a couple weeks ago. So they're doing would be a great compliment to what Smack Dab does, and really lead the energy off on a good note that evening. So.
Great.
All right.
Any questions regarding Whirlybird specifically before we go ahead and jump to Earlybird?
Clever.
Hey. So yes, Earlybird. Due to the success we've been having in kickstarting our music scene again, I've noticed that we tended to peak last year last year's our real first year back. We peaked a little bit late, which is understandable given the fact that we had to build up the momentum, the trust within the community to come out and see shows again. So I had this idea, well, what if we had these individual Whirlybird-like events leading up to the summer, thus Earlybird. And my idea is to get that momentum, that inertia moving, so that way we peak early and we carry that throughout the summer. So this not only benefits the people during the shows that I'm proposing, but every single event that Jamestown has to offer throughout the summer. The buzz is going to be going. People are going to be a little bit more conditioned, more comfortable with going out. So I propose that we do events. It'd be 4 separate days. Those 4 days would have their own themes. They would take place like Whirlybird at different venues across the town. And this event would be completely free. No cover whatsoever. We really just want to get the people out. We want them to experience Jamestown. And this would be something that's not only for our community, but something that's also geared like Whirlybird to bring people in from out of town with the kind of bands that people are willing to travel for. So I propose that we do a reggae night or day, and these would be Saturdays. So again, it'd be similar to how Whirlybird runs. When we start about 3 or 4 o'clock, we've got 4 bands or so with live art going on, a free show, and then as soon as we close that down, have an after party at the Beer Snob that's free. And I've already talked to Joel at the Wine Cellar and a couple other people, and they're interested in doing their own thing while that's going on. Whether that's free or not is completely up to them. But the fact is that there's going to be options. It's going to have a feel that people have become accustomed to when it comes to Whirlybird. For these days, these early bird concert days. So for the reggae night, I've already been in touch with and have a commitment from Mosaic Foundation, which is a widely renowned reggae group out of Ithaca. Their singer Chacha travels back and forth from Africa, where his family is routinely. They are incredibly positive. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's a wonderful experience, and our city always turns out for them. So we've got them, and then again, once we can get some commitment, we'll move forward and bring other bands. I've got the Medicinals out of Rochester in mind, as well as Roots Collider, and so that would be our reggae performance, and again, that would take place at Ware Plaza. Then we do a jam band day that's similar to kind of the feel that we have for Whirlybird, and we bring kind of the same kind of jam band feel to it with a Grateful Dead tribute and all. So Jamestown's got to have their Grateful Dead. And hey, I gotta have my Grateful Dead. So we do that, and again, move on to a free after party following. And then I propose that we do a jazz night. The Doubletree has informed me that they're going to be building a stage on their patio. So I'd like to bring the Don, and I'm gonna totally mess this up, Donnie Frofhauer. He's a keyboardist that played in Everwine, who's a band that played at Whirlybird last year. But he won Buffalo's best jazz fusion and jazz soul funk band last year, 2 awards. So award-winning jazz artist, as well as the Assembly. And God knows I couldn't do it without my old band instructor, Mr. Raz. So find a way to work him into that, because it wouldn't be a jazz event in Jamestown if Mr. Raz wasn't involved. So I'd like to do that, and then how that works for the after parties, we really have to. I don't think we'd have a jazz band to do an after party, but we would still have a band at the Beer Snob following to support. And then the kind of the crown jewel of all this is the thing that I'm most excited about, and that's to do like a legitimate punk hardcore show at the Powerhouse Skate Park. And how I envision this is having the band set up, and we again just do this similar to Whirlybird. We've got vendors, we've got food, and we've got the band set up and playing outside outside the right on the perimeter, so that everybody can skate while this is going on. This is going to be incredible as far as like the visuals, the optics, the feel to it all. I mean, the energy, I can already feel it. But I can only, like, the video we're going to get from this is going to be fantastic. And what I'd like to focus on for that band is Mike Ganser. He's a musician from Buffalo. If you're familiar with Aqueous, they're pretty much, other than Mo, they're the biggest band that's come out of Buffalo in the last 20 years. So he's got a band called Death Kings, with Michael Karuba, who's in Turquoise, which is another, and Cool. Well, now he's in Cool. Pardon me. I know you probably don't. Anyway, so I apologize. But he's also an internationally touring artist with a lot of accolades. And then the bassist from Humphreys McGee is their bassist. So it's an all-star project to be able to bring them down with support from bands like Bad Waitress that Pete brings over to the skate, to JSP, and things that are already working here. Mala Sangre from out of Erie. I can already, as I said, feel it. That's what gets me so excited. That was what inspired me to do this to begin with, that idea right there. And then we continue on to have an after party at the Beer Snob with a band that I helped start 20 some years ago named Phantasm. They're a fantastic rock and roll band. Their last music video had over 151,000 views on YouTube. They're doing very, very well for themselves, given all the commitment and the time that they put into developing that band. Along with a reunion show from Junk Button, we'll be opening up for them, and they are now known as, they do a project called Uncle Ben's Remedy, if you're familiar. But 20 years ago, they were a glam rock band that were just incredible. A lot of fun, a lot of energy, and they reached out and let me know that they're willing to do a reunion experience to kind of complement all this. So that's how I envision this moving forward. It's again, I think it'd be really a lot of fun, to be quite honest. So, any questions?
Not get a
It,
financial.
for some reason, it,
Yeah.
sometimes the form, the way it's saved,
Oh no.
erases everything. So I may need you to send it again.
Okay, sure.
You probably still have it on your end,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, I looked in my emails too while we were sitting here to see, yeah, that's quick, yeah, but, oh,
As far
the
as
24-29 is.
yeah,
the
so I did write into this that those
Okay.
dates are flexible.
Okay,
Not only due to what's going on around, because I hadn't known about that. I'm equally as excited for Ace Frehley. They actually reached out to me to see if they wanted to be a part of Whirlybird, so I saw that Doug picked that up. I was stoked.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. But yeah, no, based on what's going on and the availability of some of these artists, there may be some moving around,
Okay.
but nonetheless 4 days solid with those concepts. And then I will get to you the financials.
Okay.
I'm so sorry about that. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
no,
what happened.
okay, I didn't notice it.
Oh, I yeah.
Printed it and I was like, wait, where'd the numbers go?
The request for early bird was 10,700, and
Yes.
with early bird, and then whirly bird was 24,000.
The early bird one came through, it's just this one.
Yeah, yeah,
10,007.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
with the loans
with the
on
loan as
both.
well.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
okay. Yeah, I wanted to clarify that with you
Yep, yeah.
actually, to make sure that I had the right numbers, so,
Yeah, I think that's
On
how it was
your-
written last year, so I just kind of wanted to make sure it was kind of in line with.
yeah. So on the main sheet, when we go over this, we'll have to add that in, which I already did the math, so we'll talk about that after this. So,
All right.
awesome. Any more questions for me? Okay.
We appreciate you continuing to come to do this.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. I'm so it gives me I'm technically disabled right now, just to be quite honest with you. So to be able to do something like this while I'm working through this, it keeps me going, and it's something that I love, and to be able to contribute to my community, this is what I wanted to do with Whirlybird to begin with. So I don't know if you're all familiar, but I also do a sister program up at YMCA Camp Anyasa, where I bring artists up to Anyasa, Thursdays, 4 to 6 of the 8 program weeks, and we teach the kids about the genre of music the band is playing, give the kids a live performance. So, there's a lot that goes into this, and it's something I'm very passionate, I care about, and I know that bring positivity out of our community. So, it's my privilege. I just more than anything appreciate you supporting it. So thank you.
Thanks, Nikki.
Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you.
All right, thank you.
You guys are all welcome to stay, but you're also free to go.
I would love to say, I gotta get to a board meeting at the Little Theater, so.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
all
much.
so much.
I
Yes.
appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Good luck.
Thank you, yeah.
Okay, start back up at the top.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Tony, we skipped to the program part.
Kinda figured that was the name.
They're fast, yeah.
Right into it.
Yeah.
All right, the first item that we have on the agenda was the approval of the JLDC board minutes from January 18th, 2023.
So moved?
Okay. Got a second? Any questions, concerns, changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We also have the financial reports through January 2023. I'll just ask if there's any concerns on that. We'll hold off on approving it until we get through the quarter. Unless you feel like we need to do each.
The audit's underway and we will be completed by the end of March, so that works fine. So, probably from my perspective.
Okay. All right. So downtown programming fund applications. Do folks feel comfortable on voting on those today? Do we want to hold off?
I'm good.
I can go.
You guys feel good to move forward?
What did we have last year for St. Susan's Valley wise? I mean, I just,
It's
It was,
It's a big number, and
Yeah.
when you look at the amount of people, it's like 188 a person.
yeah, it was 50,000,
Okay.
and I'm trying to remember how many, I wanna say they had, was that 400 that they were able to fit into the Crystal Ballroom? I think that's why they selected that venue. It was sold out.
The thing
I-
too, it's a multi-night thing.
Yeah,
I don't think it's 225 overall.
It's 225 a night.
A night, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's still.
Oh, gotcha. I thought the same thing though.
Yeah.
Any further questions on that?
Are you proposing anything, Kim, or just?
I don't
Okay.
I don't know what, I mean, I think it's a great event, my concern lies in the expense for the amount of participants, the public that can participate in it.
I would second that. I mean,
to see a higher number of participants, yeah. I mean, that's feedback that we can give them if you, we can opt to table it and give them the feedback and allow them to tweak the proposal, or move forward.
I like that idea, I mean, if that's the best they can do, let's have them tell us that's the best they
Okay.
can do, but.
Well, and maybe there's a specific reason that that's 225 is the limit. Okay.
So we'll hold off on that one pending some additional information.
Mhm.
And then if, depending on when we meet next, we can either try to do a visual over email again, this consent, or.
Cause it's not till
Or wait.
September.
Oh, so then we'll have more time
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the next meeting.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I
Cindy
mean, I
is
know they need
very
time to
good
plan
about-
it,
Yeah.
but,
It's like
Yeah.
his.
Yeah, they
his
will have to
20 grand,
retain him
Like
and-
that family
Yes.
alone is 20 grand. It's like, let's get a bigger venue.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, well, and
Yes, the problem with that tends to be the availability of bigger venues that they can afford
Right.
and still make it, the numbers all work out, so I think I'll talk to them and let them kind of give the justification for the choices that they made, and maybe the reg is an option or something else,
even the ice arena,
even the ice arena, yeah.
sure, if you don't need the professional services of the reg, not that that's not a great facility, but
Right.
depending on what the needs of the artist is.
We can test out the Reg's smoke alarms too while we're at it.
Yeah, so,
If you test them out on trivia, we got a real problem.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give Cindy this feedback, and once I get her responses, are we okay if I send it to everyone and do a unanimous consent resolution vote?
If that's needed, yeah.
If it's needed, the only reason I suggest that is I don't know what Ben Bailey's timeline is,
Right.
if they need to get him
Right.
before he's not available.
It sounds like everyone's agreeable to doing unanimous consent if those questions are responded to. Okay, we'll start with the RTPI, Banff Mountain Film Festival. Give a motion to approve. So moved by Tony, second.
Second.
Lou. Questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor? Any opposed? Abstaining? All right, so carried. St. Susan's, we are going to table and hold off.
Mhm.
St. Luke's Irish Brothers, welcome the wisdom of St. Patrick.
Be glad to sponsor that one.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second? We have a second. Any questions, comments, concerns? Thanks for bringing in our performer from Ireland, this is wonderful. Technology is a great thing sometimes, right? Great. Hearing no other questions or concerns, all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstain.
One abstention. All right, and we have Mickey Gert's Whirly Bird application, so just Whirly Bird, not Early Bird yet. Do we have a motion? So moved. Second?
Sure.
Second, okay. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstaining? All right, and Early Bird. Really like that name.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay, so moved. Second, Tony. All right, any questions or concerns? It's great to see that the powerhouse skate
love
park
it.
is being used.
Yeah.
There's certainly really great space in the back that would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a great opportunity for some just promo of the park itself.
Gotta get some pads.
That's
Yeah.
what
I am not skiing. I've gotten brave. I went skiing for the first time in like 23 years, but I don't know about the
Bubble
skateboard.
wrap.
Yeah. Just roll me down the side and bubble wrap.
All right, hearing nothing further, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? All right, early bird is done. Next item on the agenda is the review and approval of the ARPA Business Expansion and Building Acquisition Grant, also known as BEBA. I believe we talked about this last JLDC meeting, and there were, you all received a sheet of 8 projects.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out tonight and for sharing your time. Really appreciate it. So in the essence of time tonight, I'll keep it brief and concise, so there's plenty of time for questions. So just again, once a brief overview of the BEBA program. This program was created to assist businesses with capital to revitalize their property and mitigate blight. And the overarching goal of this program as well was to assist businesses in making necessary infrastructure repairs and undergo expansion. So just a quick thing on return on investment for Jamestown. Based on the 8 applications that we have received, and we are promised 58 job increase from applicants, 40 of which would be full-time and 18 of which would be part-time. And to mention as well that contracts, if approved, they would be signing are structured as 50% grant and 50% forgivable loan. The forgivable loan portion comes into it as they will need to meet their employment goal. And if not, they would have until December 31st of 2026 in order to obtain that goal. And if they weren't to obtain that goal, they would pay back the half of it that was the loan portion if the jobs were not met in demand. And also here is a sheet that I think everybody should have. It's a,
I didn't pass it on yet.
oh,
These are, well,
you wanna go over?
I was just gonna tell you, there was some concerns about how we were reaching everybody. And, I actually went through my emails and pulled out everyone who received an email with the application. And you can, how many more do I have here? Just 2 more? And then a few. And so you can see, I think it came out to something like 54 businesses were notified directly. They received the application, but we did have 19 that did not even apply for various reasons. I think Tim can discuss what those reasons may have been, as we've heard.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So, regarding to the reasons for not applying, we have generally heard, especially from other partners like Small Business Development Center, we've heard there's a lot of instances where businesses simply do not have the time necessarily, and they don't want to go to a commitment like that, as it's a very long project, and the end of it on 4 years when the American Rescue Plan ends. And we've also heard instances of where there is either they're just not interested and do not want to participate, as well as some businesses do not want to get involved in government programs regarding to this. And how we've been trying to expand our reach to other businesses. For the new upcoming grants, equipment, machinery upgrades, and new business development, we are working closely with Small Business Development Center and the Chamber of Commerce. And they have been helping us spread out the word of the applications and about the grant, and they've been assisting businesses in completing the application for any questions, because that was another thing we've heard is that the applications are so large, sometimes it can be a little bit too taxing for a business to have to dedicate so much time to. So, and along with that, we've also been doing what we can to market the grants on all of our media platforms, such as the newspapers, Facebook, the website. And that's pretty much it for that. Also included under everybody's sheets a Department of Development annual report. This is more so for the JLDC board members that aren't on council, which was also on our website. I won't go through it today just because it's very, very lengthy report, but it pretty much is a overarching summary of what we have done so far in the year of 2022 relating to our ARPA programs and what can be expected in the following years.
And it's on the website as well, the city's.
Mhm.
estimate.
And I'd be happy to answer any questions now at this time.
Provolone did not, they kinda
They-
landed in the top,
They
so.
did not, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, they did not apply.
Nuvo is also no indication.
Nuvo, they did not apply. That takes it up to 21, who did not apply. I mean, they, like I said, they did receive the application. And like I said, I just went through the emails today and found them.
So there are currently 8 applications for us to review today, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So Falcon Acquisitions, Summit Wealth Management, Panache, Fringe, Labyrinth, PW Wholesale Florist, Beer Snob, and It's Your Deck. Total amount to be funded is $749,980 out of a requested $1.3 million total cost.
Yeah, that 1.352675 million, 1.3 million, is the total amount that would go into the project. So, our 749,000 would be, the ARPA portion, and then the business itself would put in the other part.
What was the total, or was it 1 million?
For BEPA it was,
Or
750.
750.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Being
remember.
absent last week, I didn't get onboarded to this program, so I'm just curious what's the total amount of funds? Is the 740 over what we have available? to
No,
potentially give out?
750,000
Yeah.
is what's available for the program.
Okay, okay,
And so these add up to the 749,
okay,
980.
okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Close.
This is Showcase Showdown.
It is.
Who's gonna get the few extra dollars?
$20 to spare.
Any other questions? from the board?
No, I just think it's nice to see, because I think the question's been out there that how are these people chosen and
Yeah.
you know, and that they're not chosen, they apply.
Correct.
And we, you know, it's hard to reach out to businesses, you don't wanna, you know, it's like, you know,
I actually called one and I can't remember who it was, but they said, no, we're not interested,
Right.
I'm not, so.
A lot of times though, the programs don't
Right.
meet our specific criteria or needs. I don't own my building, I'm not
Yeah.
expanding on somebody else's building, so it's like,
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been eligible for
Sure.
something, I mean, I'm sure, you know.
And that, you know,
And
our
that
hope is
doesn't
that
mean that,
every business fits into one
something.
program or another,
Yeah.
at least. You know, I think I mentioned, you know, we can lead the horse to water, but that's where, you know, our role has to stop. I mentioned, we advertise in the Post Journal, as with every other grant. We do social media, we do, you know, a lot of these, we did the business roundtables in advance. We have conversations with businesses all day, every day. So we're constantly talking about the programs that are coming and reminding them, please check, please come back to the website, please watch for it. And then again, Tim mentioned working with Small Business Development Center, the Chamber, the IDA, the other JRC, sending it out to them and asking them to send it out to anybody that they talk to or that is looking for funding. So, we're open to other ideas. I don't, you know, and we'll do anything and everything we can to
Hot air
reach
balloon.
as many as we can.
Not right
Can we
now.
take that on a? That's where that extra
Probably not a
$20
good
is going.
Yeah.
Might get shot down.
So,
shot down over the high school.
Yeah.
I guess I'm, you know, obviously I'm going back to my math, but, how did we determine, I know you looked at the whole application, but I mean, I'm just looking at percentage of their total project cost. Most of these are around 50 to 58%, one is 32%, but then there's a couple that are 75% of their project. I guess my question is, to be fair, how do we, you know, cause business A could have said, well, if I'd have known I could have gotten 75%, I might have asked for something differently, so,
I
I'm
think we
just
just,
kinda
we had
curious.
the, you know, the max amount, and so
Mhm.
everybody could apply for that. And if that's what they needed, that's what they got. You'll see places like Panache, Fringe, their project cost was much more, but they were only able to, you know, qualify for the 200,000, then we did have to limit it a little more. So I didn't figure out a percentage per se, I kind of looked at the project cost and what was happening in their business.
It's like some of the requestable amounts either.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the applications, like
Right.
Labyrinth only requested not as much from what their overall cost was.
And then, of course, whatever they requested, they only did receive 75% of that, because that's how the grant was written.
again, I'm just gonna say, I would have liked to have seen more businesses that have not gotten funding apply, because it seems like we're doing the same ones.
You know what we did do for the new business, because Tim and I reached out to the chamber, and was it JRC, we reached out to another
Small business.
small business, yeah, and we said, you know, have you heard anything, why are these people not applying? And they did say that some of the smaller businesses were just too busy, and it was just a little daunting for them, if they don't have their own accountant, or if they don't have QuickBooks, it's harder for them to pull things together. So the Small Business Development Center did say that they would partner with us in these application process. So right on the top of the application, it's, you know, contact the SBDC for assistance and fill it out, so. Yeah.
Right. Basically, they're willing to do the applications for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns? Okay, do folks feel comfortable approving a motion to approve all 8 of them, or do we want to separately vote?
I would say, I'm good with all of them. I think the questions have been answered, that, I mean, the concern, I know Kim had some other council people had some, I think they were answered. I feel comfortable.
Okay. Should we take that as a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a
Let's
second?
get there.
Sure, second.
Second, okay. Any additional questions or concerns? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay. The BEBA grant is concluded. Thank you.
You still have to send some of these to the
We do,
council.
yep, so thank you, I was just gonna mention to Stephanie and Tim, anything over 100,000 still requires council.
So
If we can get that ready for
Two.
the
2 weeks.
March 20, or February 27th, I think
Yes.
is the date, voting
Yeah.
session. And if we need help putting that together, let me know.
Thank you for doing all of these too.
Oh, yeah. that was
Sorry
it.
that somewhat didn't get in there, but,
Yeah.
So there'll be 3 of them on there, right?
Yep.
yeah,
Summit, Panache, and Labyrinth.
yeah.
That's correct. Okay. Any other new business to come before this board? Okay. Hearing none, I do have one executive session item, which is a pending litigation. So if we could have no action to be taken, just an update for this board. If we could have someone motion to go into executive session. Moved by Tony, second by Kim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're now in executive session. If we could please have Stephanie and Crystal. Not here. Huh? Okay. I was just let the folks know that we got some.
Okay.
Okay.
This isn't an official